Hey there everybody, Reed here, conductor of Orchestra Farm. I'm on a walk in the forest today, doing this beautiful, lush rainforest here in southern British Columbia, and it's good to get away from things for a little while and just get into the forest. Beautiful little maple leaf falling there. Take a good breath with all of this, epic oxygen that's getting created still for a little bit before the trees mostly go to sleep for the winter. And today, I wanted to chat with you about homesteading without a homestead. You might wonder how that's even possible. Well, there's certainly some examples of people in urban and suburban areas homesteading on their little plots of land. What I also mean by this is, for instance, I'm a renter. I rent it's a lovely little home, but I can't really do most of the things on the land that I would want to be doing. And so I've happened to find another piece of land that I can grow my food at, and realize that I don't have proper storage for that food, which this year I had the privilege of an excavator coming on and getting to use that to dig a hole to drop a chest freezer in, which will, fingers crossed, hopefully work as my cold storage for things like potatoes and squash. Now, because I don't live there, I haven't been wanting to put any animals there because, animals take daily care, basically. Although I guess it's possible to automate some of that so it's not quite as daily, but still. And the other aspect to homesteading is an idea of preparedness. Now, the word prepper has different meanings in different places, and I grew up in a time when, we knew there would be blizzards and hurricanes, and you'd want to be prepared for when the power went out. My mother in particular kept an amazing small kitchen garden, and, she would be canning and preserving foods for the winter by blanching and freezing the ones that that's for, and just freezing others, and throughout the winter we'd be pulling from the chest freezer, or I guess it was a stand-up freezer at our house, to make meals from. And so that notion of how do you preserve your food? How do you keep your food? Are you, prepared to go a few days without food? How are you turning your home space and any other bits of land that you have access to into not being a debt to you, but being something that brings liveliness, maybe even income to you? In my house, my wife has a office space that she works from. I also have my own little office space that I enjoy working from. So there's different ways to bring in some revenue from the house. We also have our chest freezers and stand-up freezers at our house so we can access our food stuff, along with, we happen to heat using firewood. I'd like to change that system up a little bit, but for the time being, that's what it is. And, we're ready for cold days. We also have a propane stove so that we're not reliant on electricity for every little thing to function. Now, I could be more prepared for power outages and things with a generator or any number of other things, but that's honestly a topic for a different day. And if you really want to learn about stuff like how to be prepared for life, whether it gets tough or it doesn't, check out the Survival Podcast from Jack Spirko. That guy is amazing, and he'll teach you every little tip and trick, and if he doesn't know it, somebody else in that network does. So check that out. But the notion of you want a homestead, how do you do little pieces in your life now that bring you to the point of actually having your own bit of land, or recognizing maybe you don't really need your own bit of land if you can access land that other people have, that you can do what you want to be doing on it. So, and then how do you turn that into a valuable something? Because even I know people who have chickens, and it's really just a debt in their life. They're constantly having to go home to deal with them. They're not taking as good a care of them, so they have to take better care of them, which takes time and energy. And anything that's taking time and energy is an energy suck. And so my thought is, you know, part of the idea of homestead is like, I'm gonna get away from my job or all these other time suck things in my life so I can have more time and space to do the things that I like doing. And don't get me wrong, having chickens or ducks, pigs or geese or goats or whatever the animal might be, and, you know, a garden patch, berries and orchards are all lovely things. However, all of it takes time and energy. And so it's actually a good idea to start slow with all those processes and then make sure that there's time for recreational activities. What are the recreational things you like to do? Because to me, when I go to someone's house and all they have to do is yard work and things, and they're constantly weeding everything, which, like, it doesn't necessarily seem like it's the most liberating of experiences. While at the same time, you know, depending on how much outside work they have to do, maybe it is. These are all good questions as we each figure out how to live a good life, how to bring balance back into it, to recognize that you can't always take a giant leap. Sometimes it's all these tiny little micro steps that get us to the goal on our journey, and to enjoy the journey while it's journeying instead of just being so destination minded that we can't appreciate all the beauty that's around us. And gosh, there's a lot of beauty around me right now. You can hopefully hear the sound of the rain. Part of why this isn't just an audio thing is because I don't know if that rain came through right then, but it's picking up. It's lovely. Ah, yes. It's a beautiful time of the year as the maple leaves are changing their colors, and I'm pretty grateful for this life that I get to live. Even though it does come with a lot of responsibilities, which is really a big thing to consider when you're thinking about starting a homestead, is that it comes with a lot of responsibilities. And when you're taking care of all those responsibilities, whether you're on a homestead or not, remember, only you can have too much fun. Remember to like and subscribe. Hope you're doing great out there. All the best.